I'm live. Am I live? Oh, this Facebook. Okay, I'm live. Okay. Hello there if you're catching the replay of this. And I'll just give it a minute to see if anyone will join us live for making magnetic posts. So if you're here, you probably have a small business or like a side hustle, some way that you are connecting with people and offering them your services. If you're here, I'd love you to say hello. Welcome, join me. Hi, Melanie. Yay. Amazing. So if you're here, you probably have an audience that yay, I'm happy you saw me and that you're joining. Awesome. That you want to speak to. You probably have a service that you offer to people, that you ask for money for or that you ask for trading for. So if you're here and you do have a business like that, I'd love to hear what that business is. So if you want to share with me in the comments, what is your offering that you're giving to people? And as people join, yeah, I can see the comments. I hope the quality is good. We're just going to take a moment to tap in. So if you want to put in the comments what is your business that you're running, even if you're on replay, you can tell me what service you're offering. And we're going to just take a moment to just tap into our audience, tap into our clients, tap into our ideal clients. So I want to invite you to just close your eyes, feel into your body, get present in your body in this moment. Feel your breath. Just getting centered in your business. You're like sitting in the center of your business temple. That you are the priestess of your business temple. That you're stoking the fire of your offering, your creation, your contribution to make this world a better place. As you tune into that business temple, and yourself as the priestess, the initiatress of your offering, seeing in your field, in your temple, your ideal clients. So maybe there's someone you've worked with recently that has just lit up your soul and you just really love working with him or her. Or maybe there's someone you want to work with in the future. Maybe it's a group of people. Just tapping into who do you work with that lights up your soul, that lights up your body, that makes you excited to serve them, that you deeply know that you can help. As you see them coming into your field, thanking them for being a part of this journey, for helping you to source your skills and deliver them. Thanking them for being the inspiration and the muse to then go ahead and create your content. Just take another moment, allow them to just fade, and knowing that we'll visit them in a moment and that you're just sitting as the priestess in your business temple and enjoying that space, entering into this little 15-minute workshop to work with your business temple. All right. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the space. If you have a journal and a piece of paper, a pen and a piece of paper, or a journal and a pen, that might be helpful for this workshop. So to make magnetic posting, The reason why I bring in kind of one ideal client or one group of people that's your ideal client is because when you're making a post, you want to speak to one person or speak to two people. There's a saying that goes something like, if you try to speak to many people, you don't speak to any. If you try to speak to one person, you can appeal to many. Okay? So you want to have your ideal client in mind, or the person that you're really wanting to speak to in mind when you're going to make your post. When you have maybe a burst of inspiration and you know you want to share something, just quickly bring an ideal client into your field or someone that like relates to this post so that you can then speak to them in their heart. So this is a really, really helpful tool that I use. And I just want to say too that I don't have like a social media marketing plan that I use. I really make my post and I like to teach people also to create their post based on their own inspiration, on their own excitement, because it's really all about the energy. If you feel like you have to do something, if you feel like you're kind of trudging through something, then it's not going to come out as good of quality. But if you feel excited and enthusiastic about it and the energy behind it is like powerful, then you'll be able to create a post that is going to convey that energy. So, some days we feel better, some days we feel worse, some months we feel better, some months we feel more like cocooning. So, really, I encourage you to trust that and trust that when it's right for you to share and come out there, then you could go ahead and share and don't be afraid to. So, having your ideal client in mind. So, our ideal client, we can understand them more deeply by understanding three things about them: their challenges. So you can write this down. Your ideal client, their challenges, their needs. So not necessarily their wants, but their needs. And then their goals or their dreams. And it's really amazing that if you start writing these things out, like your ideal client, their challenges, their needs, and their goals, you'll see already some ideas spark for topics that you can post about and share about. And it's really interesting because, each one of us will have our business and we'll have our main message. Like, I want people to discover more self-love. Let's say that's a main message. And that's a main message for lots of different businesses, whether it's, clothing or photography or, workshops and courses, teachers. So that could be your main message is I want people to find more self-love. But there is a million different ways to say that same message. So you can basically convey your same message through many, many different kinds of posts where you imagine different people in front of you and as if you're speaking directly to all these different ideal clients. And you can do that every week and really have the same main message, but say it in different ways to appeal to different minds. So you have those three, the challenges, the needs, and the goals. And if you can understand this about your ideal client, hey Jordana, yay, then you can really impact those people and really speak to those people. The reason why we want to post on social media, and this is another question you should ask yourself, why do I want to post on social media? It's to make money, perhaps, probably. It's to make sales. And it's to develop yourself as an influencer, perhaps, to really build yourself as an authority in a certain subject. And I say authority with quotes because there's a better word for it. But you want to build yourself as someone, what's the word? Like you're building credibility for yourself. Because even if if I'm looking for a certain service, I'm going to try to I'm going to think in my head of who do I trust in that field. And if you're creating all kinds of good posts that speak straight to my heart, then I'm going to trust you so that that moment when I need your service, I'm going to come to you. Or that moment that I hear someone that, a friend who's asking me for a reference, I'm going to come to you because I've seen that you've made good quality posts about your subject that have made you seem like an expert in my eyes. And that will then help me, yeah, help me to know you and get access to you. Jordana said you want to play the guide in people's lives. Yeah, it's like you want to impact people, you want to guide people, and you also want something in return for that. So you want clients, you want to sell something, right? And people don't love to be sold to, but they do want to buy stuff, and they do want to connect. And so if you can make posts that really connect to people's challenges, needs, and goals, then you speak to their heart and you begin to establish yourself as an expert in your field. And this is going to help you in the long run to build your business, to help direct people to your website, to order your product, or work with you on your coaching package or whatever it is that you're offering. So it's also really good to get clear about what you're offering, but that's kind of a different subject, a different thing. So I will tell you about 6 or 7 or 8 different kinds of posts that you can make. And I recommend that you start brainstorming with yourself on what you would talk about if you were to have to make one post for each of these categories. And know that these categories can also cross over each other. So you can mix and match and mingle. All right, so first of all, we have storytelling posts. Storytelling, this is like the ancient this is embedded in our DNA. This is the ancient way that we used to communicate and convey, morals and connections between different tribes and different people. So we have actually storytelling embedded in our DNA. So when someone's telling a good story, we can't help it but be attracted and drawn to that because it's interesting and it's exciting for us. So the basic elements of storytelling is that you have a crisis, some kind of challenge, and you have a resolution. So you have a character, you have a challenge, and then you have a solution. So in a good storytelling post, you're gonna address the audience, say, when you just feel like shit. And I'm just saying that, whatever. You'll follow my lead. You know how when you're really struggling with like preserving the memories of your childhood or something like that, and then you can add in an emotion. Like doesn't that make you feel really sad that you don't get to preserve your memories from a childhood? This is about photography. And then you can kind of add in some humor, like, well, maybe you can blame your dad for never wanting to do that photo shoot with you. But I take amazing photos that will help you with this problem. Like we've now solved the problem. So we're addressing it to our audience. We present the challenge, which goes back to what we said about our ideal client and understanding their challenges and speaking to their challenges, and then offering a solution with maybe a little bit of humor in there. Okay, that's the first one, storytelling. Second one is vulnerable shares. Okay, this is like you are vulnerably saying a problem that you've had. You're putting yourself at eye level with your viewers, with your customers. And this is what's called also mirroring, or like reflecting and helping your viewer connect with you because they see themselves in you. Then the third one is like a teaching or a tip or a how-to, a lesson, an aha moment, something that you're trying to teach. But if you put together the storytelling and the teaching moment, or you put together the storytelling, the vulnerable share, and the teaching moment, that's when we start to mesh these different types of posts and they become super powerful. And something about when you make a good post, you should also like move it over and post it on your website as a blog, because then it's going to reach people like also on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever. And it's also going to reach people via Google that will go to your website. So that's the third. So the fourth one will be a numbers post. So these are those posts that are like 10 ways that you can solve your problem, right? And that post are really good because they're easy for people to just briefly scan them and kind of get that hit, get that gist from your post. And if they're interested and it's exciting for them, then they'll go deeper and read. And those are the kind of like clickbaity posts, like you can't help it. Like, oh, 10 ways I can find my next lover. I want to know. So then you have your celebration win posts. So these are like your brags. And these are good to have sometimes. I wouldn't post brag posts all the time because, social media has enough of that. We need real people on social media. And that's actually really what sells in the end, is like not pretending like you have a perfect life, but really being real. But that being said, if you're being real enough, then you can definitely share some wins sometimes. And that makes people excited too. And if you already have followers that like love you, then they'll be happy for you. Like, yeah, I lost 10 pounds. Woo, I'm so excited, or like my client lost 10 pounds, something like that. All right. Then you have poetry. So sharing poetry. This is also something that maybe whoever's watching this like won't necessarily use poetry. Like maybe, and this is also something that you can use sometimes, unless you're a poet or a storyteller or something, and then you're going to want to use that more often. Two more is polls or questions. This is actually a really good way to get lots of engagement, especially in groups. Like, what's your favorite podcast? And then you have everybody wants to tell you what their favorite podcast is, right? People love talking about themselves. And that's not a bad thing. I love talking about myself too. So we love talking about ourselves. So if you ask me a question and I have, everybody has their favorite podcast. So like, yes, I'll tell you what mine is because I'm important. So that's any polls or quick questions, good movies to watch on date night, or I don't know, what's your favorite vegetable? And then, and that's also a good way to source lots of data, right? So if you make a poll, and like I have this group, the Goddess Temple, if I made a poll here, what's your favorite female empowerment podcast? And I have a list of 40 podcasts that I probably should go check out. I can make a blog about that. Like, here's the recommended podcast from the Goddess Temple group. Thanks everybody for contributing. Check them out. I checked out these ones, and these are my recommendations, and these are the rest of the ladies' recommendations. So it's like, it's always good to kind of cross over your resources, right? So Facebook is a resource that posts die after a few days. But like YouTube, for example, posts live on for years. And also with blogs, people can search on Google and find blogs from years ago as well. So it's good to kind of cross resource your stuff, because otherwise a lot of times our efforts can be lost very quickly. I want to preserve those efforts, ladies. Just checking the comments. Yeah, nobody. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is interviews. Interviews are a great kind of post, and this obviously would be done via video or audio. You wouldn't maybe necessarily do a text interview. It'd be kind of like a script. That might be funny. I don't know. Maybe you could try it. Interviews are a good way to also cross-resource with other people. So if I did an interview, like Jordana, you did an interview with me in your group, and I know from that interview, a couple people, from your group joined my group, and a couple people from my group joined your group. So it's a good way to get excitement built around a mutual subject, and to get, shared followers to cross over. So those are the seven or eight different kinds of posts that I came up with. I also learned some of that from one of my amazing mentors, Beth Catherine, who I'm taking her course right now, Divine Feminine in Business, and I love it so much. She's amazing. So some of these have come from her, and some of them have also come from just me kind of putting things together in my own experience. And obviously you have three different kinds of posts. You have videos, pictures, and podcasts. So live videos have the best algorithm power in Facebook. I'm not sure about Instagram, how good it is. I'm really actually not sure about the Instagram algorithm. So if you know stuff about that and you want to share it with the group, that'd be amazing because I know they're always changing their algorithms. Um, and if you do a text post, it's often a good idea to put a picture on there. And pictures of your face will go further than, or somebody's face, right? Will go further on Facebook than any other photo. So just know that if you have a really strong post that you really want to get out there, you put a picture of your face on it, it will go further. And you always also, this is what Beth said as well, like you always want to put a picture that goes with the post, right? You don't want to put like a beautiful picture of your photo shoot with a vulnerable share about, your sick sister, right? Like you want to make the picture look like the post. Like let's get real. And yeah, I love seeing good quality posts. I love seeing people just rock it online. It's an amazing era that we live in, that we have this access to so many people all over the world. So, ladies, use it wisely and um, remember that like this is an incredible power that we have. So try to diversify your posts as much as you can. Try to, appeal to a number of your different ideal clients and have fun while you're doing it. Get good energies behind it. There's no pressure to do anything. Sometimes we get in our heads that like, oh, I need to have a social media marketing plan. I need to post every day in all of my platforms, different posts. No, you don't really have to do that. You can be magnetic in a different way from your womb, from Mama Earth, from your juicy yoni goodness. Literally, guys. It's funny and cute, but it's also really, really true that we can be magnetic energetically. And when that energy is behind our post, one post is going to go so much further than 20, mediocre posts combined. So use this group and sending you all so much love. I hope this was helpful. Would love to hear your feedback. Let me know if you have any questions. Mwah. Bye.